The Gloria Calita was the largest Caribbean ship of its day. At 165 feet long and 175 tons, she dwarfed other ships in comparison. Her captain, Reg Mitchell, was equally as impressive, standing roughly 7 feet tall with blazing red hair. He and his crew of 9 were all experienced sailors, transporting cargo to Venezuela, Cuba, and Mobile, Alabama. One trip, Mitchell sailed to Venezuela with a load of sugarcane. There, for some unknown reason, he fired his entire crew and hired a new Spanish one, sailing almost immediately to Mobile. Soon after, on January 20th, 1940, the Gloria Calita set sail from Mobile with a load of lumber bound for Cuba. When the Coast Guard was informed that the Gloria Calita had never reached Cuba, they launched an extensive search and located the ship adrift about 150 miles from Mobile. The ship was badly damaged, its rigging and rudder were missing, and it was completely abandoned, except for the ship's dog. At first, it was assumed that the Gloria Calita had been caught in a storm that washed the crew overboard, but questions started to arise after a strange man was seen aboard a German submarine. The man was not in uniform, had red hair, and was very tall. Locals wondered if the Gloria Calita was attacked by the submarine. The crew killed and Captain Mitchell forced to act as a guide. The citizens of Mobile were left to their imagination, as the mystery of Gloria Calita's fate has never been solved. September 6, 1982. Charred human remains are found amongst the burning wreckage of the fishing boat Investor near the small fishing village of Craig, Alaska. But authorities quickly realized that the fire was no accident after discovering the passengers had been shot in the head. 28-year-old Mark Colthurst and his wife Irene, their children Kimberly, 5, and John, 4, and the ship's 4 crew members had been on the boat for a fishing trip in Alaska. The boat had docked in Craig for the night and was later seen drifting away with the engines off and a strange man at the helm. Witnesses assumed it was a crew member until the fire was seen aboard the Investor hours later. As nearby boats rushed toward the flames, a man was seen leaving the Investor in a small skiff. The man stated he was going for help, but the help never came. The man was also never identified. After the fire was extinguished, 7 sets of remains were confirmed, the 4 crew members, Mark, Irene, and their daughter Kimberly. Strangely, John's body was never found. Years later, the police's only suspect was tried but found not guilty due to lack of evidence. The case then went cold, yielding no other suspects, motive, or leads of any kind. In March 1977, escrow company owner Chuck Morgan left his Tucson, Arizona home to go to work, but never arrived. Morgan was a potential witness in a land fraud and money laundering case against an organized crime boss. 3 days later, Morgan stumbled into his own house in the middle of the night, unable to speak. Morgan seemed to have no memory of what had happened to him, but was able to communicate to his wife that someone had used chemicals to make him mute. He also warned her not to call the police. Over the next few weeks, as Morgan's wife nursed him back to health, he told her that he had been secretly working for the government for the last several years. Morgan's wife also began to suspect that he had once been involved in money laundering himself. 2 months after his initial disappearance, Morgan vanished again. 9 days later, Morgan's wife received a mysterious phone call where an unknown woman told her Morgan was all right, then referenced a Bible verse from Ecclesiastes before hanging up. 2 days later, Morgan's body was found with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. The gun lay beside him. Police found a hand-drawn map to the murder site in his pocket and a pair of sunglasses nearby that Morgan's wife later confirmed did not belong to him. What was even more strange was the $2 bill police found clipped to the inside of Morgan's underwear. The bill was covered in bizarre writing that appeared to be some sort of code. Some detectives suspect that Morgan committed suicide, staging it as a murder. Others believe he had been laundering for the crime boss and was killed for agreeing to testify against him. The code written on the $2 bill has never been deciphered, and the case remains unsolved.